Money, 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 money. I've talked about a couple of really cool channels the other day, some YouTube analysts, and they talk about the YouTube life and what people are doing on YouTube and what it's like to be a YouTube creator. And one of them was mentioning how YouTube, for many people, has gone from being a love and a passion to being kind of a chore and a business. That things are changing for a lot of nomads. As they build their channels, they become more and more dependent on the YouTube revenue, and then they start, realizing, okay, I made $1,000 a month, now I'm making 1,500, and now 2,000, and then it goes up and up, and they get a level there, and they said, okay, so YouTube is bringing in, say, $2,000 or $3,000 a month. And they get dependent on that money. They now have it, okay, now I'm going to upgrade my RV, or I'm going to do certain things in the nomadic world. I'm going to travel. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to get a smart car. I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to get Mickey dolls. I'm going to get more traveling. I'm going to do this. I'm going to change that. But what happens is you start getting dependent on that YouTube income, okay? It's like a salary, okay, you get a job and you're paid $50,000 a year, or $100,000 a year, and you start to upgrade your lifestyle. Okay, I can afford all this, so I'm going to go out to the movies more. I'm going to take more trips. I'm going to buy a bigger this. I get a house, get a better RV. All of a sudden now the bill wheel comes, and now you're making more money. You're dependent on that money, and now if the economy takes a downturn or something like that happens and the money drops, what do? You panic. You go, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to pay all the bills, all the car loans and the insurance and the taxes and all the other encumbrances you get financially from that upgraded lifestyle. And we're seeing nomads now, particularly older, middle-aged nomads, that I really see a sense of panic setting in because, let's face it, their YouTube channel income is dropping. And it's not necessarily so much their fault, although to some degree I think it is. To some degree I think people are just, nomads today are just running out of steam. Their channels have been running for 3 and 4 years now. They're just out of content. They've done the same things over and over again. They've done, they got the dog, they got the RV, they've got a new RV, they've done a van build, they got another RV, they do another van build, they do the same traveling, they go see Route 66, they, etc., etc., etc. So to some degree, it's just, I think the viewers are just getting kind of tired of watching all the same stuff over and over again and may not be watching them as much as they used to. And on the other hand, the YouTube revenue is definitely going down. YouTube is transitioning itself into more of like a cable provider with YouTube TV, where they're offering, local channels and networks and stuff like that, and HBO Max and stuff like that. And they're getting more into other things. And the other thing I think what YouTube is doing is they're promoting more. Ooh, a big bee flew around. They're promoting more of their bigger stars. They do have stars on YouTube that get upwards of 1 million more subscribers. And I think that's what they're going more for in the promotions department, particularly with what they call younger demographics. That's always big in the advertising community, is demographics, younger demographics, people that are teenagers, even younger, middle age, that kind of thing. And that's, I think, is what they're doing right now. And when you look at most of these nomad channels, for the most part, we're people in the middle age, even older. And those people, I think, are just not what YouTube is focusing on anymore. The other thing has to do with all the advertising stuff going on now. With pandemic, last couple of years, a lot of advertisers have moved away from YouTube and gone elsewhere, other television things. And that's why I think YouTube is trying to be more like television and that kind of thing. So I think we're seeing a lot of that going on. Like there's a guy over there on his phone and he just keeps staring at me, wondering why I'm talking into a camera here. That's why I hate doing these videos outside sometimes. People stare at you. At least I don't have a selfie stick. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so the whole YouTube thing is changing. A lot of the nomads, I think, are really noticing that the revenue is dropping, the views are dropping, their channels, they've got encumbrances with their channels, and I'm not going to mention too many names, although let's just focus on Carolyn's RV life, because she did a video last night talking about Basically how there's too many ads in her videos. People are complaining, especially the pre-roll ads that run in the middle, and that she's actually working to try to stop those ads. You can set up your control panel to do that. So I guess she's, one of the things you do when you have lower revenue per ad is you start running more ads, right? And that's what YouTube, I think, is doing in a lot of channels. And you do see so many ads all over YouTube. Pre-roll ads, end-roll ads, mid-roll ads, multiple mid-roll ads, ads in your recommended viewer videos, ads in just your subscriber things. They're all over. They're just popping up all over. And the other thing I'm noticing is, especially with the nomads that we watch here, is that their daily view averages are going way down. I'll mention his name, Nomadic Fanatic. I'll mention his name today. The latest Social Blade numbers for his daily average views, which I think is probably the most important metric on YouTube, is below 20,000 for the first time in my memory, which is not that great, but I seem to remember him doing 35, 40, almost 50,000 daily views on average, and he's down now. I noticed it creeps closer and closer to 20. It goes from 23 to 22 to 21. I'm going to say, if it goes below 20, I'm going to make a mention of it, and it did. This morning I checked his Social Blade, and it's 19,000 something. Which, again, is just showing you the trend of what's going on there. A very well-established nomad who's, puts videos out almost every day now, if not every day. And he just, he's kind of, you can see the trends all going in the negative direction. Again, I think a lot of it just has to do with nomadic channels in general. People are just, that's a genre that may have played out. A lot of nomads are not doing a lot of nomadic stuff anymore. There's such a glut of nomadic channels. There's so many of them. Beautiful women, beautiful men, young, old, and then you get the whole thing with the business stuff where you have to do, well, are we still on? Yeah. We have to do the the Patreon, the PayPal, the whatever, the Spreadshirt, the Amazon links, the Skillshare promos, the Jackery stuff. I mean, just shilling products and products and products, Nomad Internet, you name it. There's somebody always shilling you a product and whatever. I noticed that Carolyn's RV Life said she's going to be doing a meetup there in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And again, that's another thing that you do if people are going to be showing up, and they're not just going to come and say hi. They're going to come with cards with some cash in them and some, here's a painting my daughter painted of you, and you're probably going to go away with a shopping cart full of junk after the thing, I don't know. We do see well-established nomads like Van City Van Life. He looks a little desperate these days. I don't know. Is that just me? It just seems like he's looking a little desperate in terms of, what his, he does a live stream the other night for like 3 hours, and, it's, then what the live streams are for. It's not just to say hi to everybody and answer your questions. They're hoping you ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching with some of that super chat, they're looking at their balance sheets and they're going, ooh, things are getting a little bit tight here at the end of July into August. Now, things will pick up, when you get into the capitalist Christmas selling season, which probably starts now after Labor Day or, maybe mid-September, because things are going to pick up, and people's at least revenues will start going up a bit. And, usually your best revenue months are, November, December, that kind of thing, because obviously all the Christmas promotions, everyone will be doing their Jackery Christmas promotions and stuff like that. But I just have to say that I'm looking at the nomads and I'm seeing a lot of red flags. I'm seeing a lot of things. I think the genre has been well worn and people are getting tired of it. The Nomadland movie, kind of, that whole thing that Cheap RV Living Bob is selling about, nomad living, I think is kind of getting, even though more and more people are probably going to be doing it because of the way the economy's going, I think people are just tired of watching a lot of these nomads right now and maybe want more escapist things to watch. I don't know. Plus, I also think that the demographic in the nomadic community right now, it's all older, middle-aged nomads, and that's not what advertisers want to appeal to. Again, radio stations, they want younger demos, constantly younger demos. And that's what you hear all the time. That's what you hear in television. Having a whole bunch of 20-year-olds watching you is so much more powerful to advertisers than having a bunch of 40-year-olds. That's just the way the system is right now. Anyway, I'm going to crunch some numbers later, and we'll talk about that. And we'll definitely, I guarantee you will be seeing some of these nomads, most of them, if anyway, are dropping somewhere in the neighborhood of 30, 40, 50% from where they were a year ago in terms of average daily views. And that has to affect their revenue. All right, folks. So, I don't know. That's kind of a state of the nomadic community right now. We'll see. Thanks for watching. It is the, what is today? I don't know what the date is. 15th, 16th, 14th. Middle of June. It's the middle of July. It's the middle of July. Another beautiful day. Everybody else around the country is having storms and fires and stuff. But here in Western North Carolina, it's one nice day after another. Oh, yeah. Thanks for watching. Vlog on.